I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You see me around a lot.
I don't know.
Don't act like you ain't seen me around
them days.
He said that.
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen.
Straight, boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when they're trying to run out. When they're trying to run, there you go.
Even if I don't feel the same way that he feeling at the moment, it don't matter. I still want to hear him out and try to understand what he's saying.
Here, what do you think he can throw the hook? Because you out the way of the right hand.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he needs to soak up, put it into his arsenal, and then he make the best out of everything that he learned from everybody.
Then throw it straight left to the bottom.
At the end of the day, you don't want to feel like a know-it-all. And the people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You got to always be a student. You got to always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
Shakur Stevenson is not approaching this training camp like a routine title defense. He is working at a higher level alongside top quality fighters, which shows just how seriously he is preparing for Teofimo Lopez.
It's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division, and be the last man standing given the opportunity.
Shakur has been grinding in camp with Terence Crawford at D1 training in Colorado Springs, the same elite facility where Crawford got ready for his showdown with Canelo. That detail alone raises the stakes for this matchup. This preparation goes far beyond basic drills and conditioning. It is high-level work focused on solving complex challenges, where timing, ring positioning, and mental sharpness are pushed to the limit in every round.
That I sent somebody to steal his passport, replicate his job, all types of weird stuff. He called me earlier. He's like, "Yo, when you spar, I'm gonna come to the gym." I'm like, I'm gonna spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything. His advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little shit. I'm trying to make sure I do what he says. So, a hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate it. I'm just trying to keep pushing and keep getting better and better.
Training alongside Crawford means Shakur is dealing with authentic pressure, sharp ring intelligence, and real-time adjustments rather than staged scenarios. They are likely focusing on staying composed under attack, setting up smart counters, and capitalizing on mistakes without wasting energy. It also speaks volumes about Shakur's mentality, because working with someone like Crawford shows he's willing to be tested, coached, and pushed beyond his comfort zone.
I hurt my hand. I was hurting it all throughout the camp.
I was feeling good.
I felt it just now. But I was trying to ignore the pain and keep it going, but it just got worse to the point where I couldn't really take it no more. I kind of felt it after my last fight. I'm like, man, just ignore it, because you're going to have to keep ignoring it every time you fight. You don't realize it until it gets to the point where you just can't take it no more. That video that got out of me, hitting somebody with a body shot, I fell. I've been hitting it constantly over and over and over. I felt the pain badly that last time to where it's I couldn't take it no more.
After his last fight, he started to sense something was wrong, but tried to brush it off, knowing he would have to keep ignoring it every time he stepped into the ring. He said, "You don't really understand how serious it is until it reaches a point where you simply cannot handle it anymore." He mentioned the video that surfaced of him throwing a body shot and then going down, explaining that he had been repeatedly striking the same area, and the pain became overwhelming during that fight to the point he could not push through it any longer. Being in a training setting built on championship expectations and strict discipline goes beyond improving technique, because it develops control and mental steadiness. Facing a fighter like Teofimo Lopez, who feeds off wild exchanges and sudden bursts, Shakur is clearly preparing himself to stay calm, sharp, and precise even when the pressure is at its highest.
Right here. You have a shot?
This training camp carries a clear purpose and a serious tone with a quiet edge to it, the type of preparation that stays low-key but makes a big statement on fight night just when it seems like Shakur, working with Terence Crawford in Colorado, is already next level. Keyshawn Davis steps in with one of the most calm and mature breakdowns of the situation. Hearing him speak gives the impression of someone who has truly shared the ring space with both fighters. He is not chasing attention or raising his voice, and he is not treating it like a popularity contest. Instead, his message is simple: stay patient, because this fight will build naturally before it explodes.
At the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
That point carries weight because when Keyshawn says the fight begins at a measured pace before Teofimo raises the intensity, it comes from real experience, not guesswork. He keeps his take balanced with no forced disrespect and no acting like either fighter lacks ability. He openly admits Teofimo can truly fight and says denying that would be dishonest. Still, he slightly favors Shakur to win on points, just by a narrower margin than most expect. That word is important: narrower. He is not predicting an easy night, a one-sided beatdown, or some dramatic collapse, but a competitive bout where momentum shifts and both fighters are pushed into difficult moments they must solve.
Pretty good.
Hey, one thing I can say though, because I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Teo can fight.
I'm telling you that. Teo can fight.
Winning back
if
then.
you said he couldn't, you'd be lying.
Right.
That's a real assessment, though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's be closer than what people think. Teo is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you know, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson, but do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you? What you asked me again? Because I want to answer that. What'd you say?
Yo, do we see you and Teo fight in the future?
Depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur though.
What really stands out is how Keyshawn separates personal bonds from honest evaluation. He gives Shakur credit for support during tough times, but once the fight is discussed, he shifts to clear analysis instead of emotion. That approach is rare. There is no exaggerated praise and no talk about ruining anyone's future. His point is simple. It comes down to how each fighter manages their energy. That feels like the most realistic view so far. This is not a moment that ends a legacy for either man. It is a moment that shapes one. We are not seeing a downfall, but two career paths meeting at a crucial stage. And if anyone expects an easy or one-sided outcome, Keyshawn's message is to stay calm and really watch what unfolds.
Depends how bad he loses.
So you think it's going to be bad?
Let's say he loses a competitive fight.
Yeah,
I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight. What then? What then for you and Teo? For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the future holds. I just know what I want to do, and I want to go to 147 and become a champion. Because I just feel like them guys just can't beat me from 140 to 147. And I just feel like, you know, I'm a surprise the boxing world. I'm small. I just moved to 140, and I'm gonna be fighting guys naturally bigger than me, and I'm gonna be stopping them. I mean, knocking them out.
I remember.
And that's gonna be very entertaining.
After Keyshawn offered that calm, experience-based view, the discussion naturally rises when Teddy Atlas joins in. When Teddy speaks, it carries depth shaped by knowledge and hard lessons rather than noise. His take feels like a serious conversation built on respect, not hype or viral moments. Recognizing two fighters willing to face each other when many would choose easier options. He quickly dismisses the simple narrative, making it clear that neither Teofimo Lopez nor Shakur Stevenson can be labeled as avoiding challenges because this matchup ends that claim the moment it happens.
I want to piggyback a little bit off of what you just said. I want to start by just giving them credit. You know, a lot of these guys avoid certain fights. They're not avoiding them right now. You got to give them credit. A lot of people took shots at Shakur, you know, and Teofimo at certain spots. He's avoiding this guy. He's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I can see you having a little reservations. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science.
The straightforward breakdown of styles stands out. This may not be non-stop action, but it will showcase true boxing adjustments, control of distance, and precise timing. Teddy points out that Shakur is willing to work on the inside, which is important against Teofimo since staying on the outside alone will not keep things comfortable. On the other hand, Teofimo's power is the factor that can shift momentum at any moment. It is athletic ability against explosive force, skill meeting skill. In a matchup like this, a single small choice can change everything. And for those who genuinely appreciate the sport, that is exactly what makes it compelling.
Teofimo showed you that he can fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting. I'll tell you, it's a lot to like about these two athletic, talented fighters.
After Teddy Atlas delivers that detailed classroom-style analysis, the energy shifts again when Timothy Bradley Jr. speaks, because he breaks fights down like someone who has lived those moments in the ring. His words come off less like hype and more like a serious caution. He is essentially saying that anyone watching casually risks missing the real story unfolding. This is not a wild back-and-forth brawl, but a tactical battle where positioning matters and every error has a cost. He frames it as fundamentals against sudden explosiveness. Shakur Stevenson operates with defense that stays tight and only opens up with purpose, while Teofimo Lopez is the kind of fighter who can turn a calm exchange into danger instantly. Bradley's point is simple without an understanding of timing, setups, and subtle details. Some viewers might misread the fight, but those who truly follow boxing will recognize the depth on display.
That go for everybody that's going to be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's going to be landed, it's going to have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bring into the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing.
This is where Timothy really shines, calling out the idea that Shakur can just talk punches without putting in the work, and he does it without shouting. It's clear and precise. He points out that power isn't just raw strength, it's about timing, accuracy, and catching an opponent off guard. That's real, mature boxing. Bradley's example's it, because he shows how explosiveness without control gets punished, while discipline without awareness eventually leaves openings. If Teofimo attacks recklessly, he could end up off balance sooner than expected. But if Shakur assumes control equals safety, danger can creep in. What stands out is how Tim frames this as a fight that rewards intelligence. No free passes, no coasting. Every offensive move has to be calculated, hidden, and earned. For fans, that's the thrill. This isn't about who throws more punches. It's about who reads the moment better. If you're paying attention, the fight will feel tense, complex, and gripping. If not, you'll miss how one small exchange can define an entire round.
Look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this battle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because what y'all going to witness is, I'm going to tell you right now what you're going to witness. You're going to witness fundamentals, great fundamentals versus that explosive stuff. You know what I'm saying? That explosive stuff. So, like, let me give you a prime example. Not to this degree, but Tonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Tarver had them fundamentals down. Roy didn't. Had them fundamentals.
Here's my take. No hedging. I see the fight opening exactly how Shakur wants it. Clean lanes, controlled distance, with Teofimo having to fight for every inch as if it's borrowed territory. Shakur will pick up the early rounds with sharp precision, making it feel like he's in command. But the middle rounds change the pace. Teofimo's timing clicks, his bursts become intentional, and every attack carries weight. He won't win by minutes, but by stealing critical moments. And in a fight judged by humans, moments count. I don't see a blowout or panic. I see intense tension. Shakur adjusting brilliantly, yet Teofimo forcing him to dig deeper than he wants, especially late. My edge goes to Shakur in a close decision, not because he dominates, but because his discipline carries him through the chaos just long enough. And if fans end up debating, replaying rounds, and splitting scorecards, that isn't controversy. It's proof this fight delivered the kind of skilled, layered boxing true fans live for.
I understand what happened. Now, yeah, look, if Teofimo Lopez, he get out of line and he want to run in there that fire and he get his behind caught, just like Norman Jr. got his behind caught, talking about, oh, he can't punch. Oh, he can find himself picking himself off of the canvas too. Yeah, talking about Shakur can't punch. I don't see many guys just running in there on Shakur. But anyways, look, y'all already know what it is. Precision, timing, right? Hitting the dude when he don't see something coming. That's power.
Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold anything back. Share how you see this fight unfolding. Who takes control? Who shows cracks first? And why? I want genuine boxing perspectives, not just scorecard opinions, because this matchup deserves a real discussion. And if you're enjoying the breakdowns, reactions, and honest fight analysis, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel moving and lets us keep delivering it the right way. We're locked in all the way to fight night, so stay tuned.